So for who, what, when, where, why, uh, how, why, enemy does it hurt you? I don't know why I like breaking all these things, but why am I wrong? I the bastard, why did I? Why did I die? Why did I? Why did I die? When did I? When did I die? In my head, I am dead. Where are you? Where are you? What are you? God, trust me.
Okay, okay. Welcome to the 47th episode of the Cast That Ends Creation. I'm your host, Chris Deering. This is the show where I interview bands and public figures from the mathcore and mathcore adjacent communities. If you beautiful people in chat have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them in. I'll try to read them aloud. If you guys would like to sub for $5, you get access to these exclusive emotes as well as access to the interviews before they hit YouTube and streaming services. You can also subscribe for free by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, allowing you to get one free sub. It's like taking $5 from Jeff Bezos and putting it into my pocket. If you're watching this on YouTube or listening to this in your car, I have no idea what I'm talking about. The show is first shown live on Twitch. Join us every Sunday and Wednesday for the live cast. With that out of the way, let me introduce our guest tonight who dropped 2 ridiculous EPs back in February. Welcome in Jonah Thorne of Secondgradeknifefight. How's it going?
Hello, hello. It's going good. Just hanging out.
Oh, it's nice. Thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pleasure.
So your name is clearly based off the preschool Tea Party massacre, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
100%.
That's, yeah.
So is that what got you into this music, or how'd you get into this?
Honestly, it's just I've always been a metalhead, always been into crazy heavy shit since I was growing up. I think the first band I think I could kind of go akin to what Second Grade Knife Fight kind of is like the Red Chord, like go back to like Clients or, I think the first CD I ever bought was Pray for Eyes, actually.
Okay.
At a Best Buy in like 2008.
God, do you remember going to stores and buying CDs? Jesus Christ.
I wish I could still do that. I do that whenever I go to record stores, but that's about it. But yeah, but definitely started with like the Red Chord, and then Preschool Tea Party Massacre was one that me and a bunch of my buddies used to listen to back in I think I was
yeah, right. When was that?
It was a long time ago. It was like
right?
early high school.
Like 2005, I think was probably when they were peaking.
That's when they were peaking. I think I got on the train on the Preschool Tea Party Massacre train probably 3 years later.
Okay.
After the peak, so around like 2008, 2009, I remember just listening to Almost as Cool, Stealing Prosthetic Legs, and just being like, this is insane. Like, this is ridiculous. And then going to the Pope Mobile Drive-By, just like, what? You know what I mean?
I never even heard of that one before. I guess it's a similar thing like Cybergrind.
Oh, they're all both of those are songs from Preschool Tea Party Massacre.
Okay.
Yes,
I thought that like Pope Drive-By sounds like a band. So okay, I gotcha.
I mean, it feasibly could be.
Yeah.
Feasibly could be.
Probably,
but
so we just hadn't heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, but Stealing Prosthetic Legs is like a rap song. Like, it's just a straight up rap song, and then you go back to Pope Mobile Drive-By, and it's just like what you'd expect. You know what I mean? It's just crazy.
So, what made you want to make music in the first place?
Oh,
real quick, if I could get you to slide to your right just a little bit more, it'll center you up a little bit better on here. There we go. That's perfect. Absolutely perfect.
So good.
You look beautiful.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much. So I've always been, I don't want to say artistically inclined because I don't think I'm that good at a lot of things, but I've always been a lover of art from a very early age. I used to draw a lot and things like that. And I tried, I was like, oh, I want to play an instrument. So tried clarinet, did that for like 2 weeks. And I was like, this sucks.
That's a weird one to start with. Is that because of school or were you just like, hey, this looks awesome?
It was school.
Okay.
It was school. But I was in like 4th grade or something like that. And then
mine was trumpet, by the way.
Oh, see, but trumpet's so versatile. You can do trumpet in anything.
Dude,
I mean,
I did that because you couldn't be in percussion in the 6th grade. After I got out of the 6th grade,
uh,
I was moving into the percussion, and I just stopped. It was boring as hell. But anyway,
it's fair.
I'm cutting you off.
No, you're all good. But I went from that to I started playing cello in 6th grade, and I did cello until my freshman year of high school, and it was a lot of fun. It was cool. I liked playing cello. I could actually read music, which was something I can't do for the life of me still. I mean, I could read drum notation, but of all things, you'd think a guitarist would be able to read music
Oh
like for
no!
guitars.
I
You know what
can't
I
read
mean?
music. No. I can read
Yeah,
tabs.
no.
That's about it.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Um, but played cello, and then I got to high school, and my school had a guitar program, and I was like, oh, I've always, I grew up listening to like Hatebreed and uh, Lamb of God, Soulfly, Sepultura, just like the whole gamut of like heavier side of bands. And I was like, man, I want to do that. Like I want to be able to like play music like that. And so I actually started teaching myself how to play guitar in like 7th or 8th grade, but then didn't really get serious about it. Like I didn't start actually learning until freshman year of high school, and I took like a beginner guitar class, and I was like, this sucks. Like I just want to riff. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then got to I think my junior and senior year, I started doing jazz. I joined our jazz the jazz class that we had, so I was playing like just all kinds of crazy shit. Like I know how to play the
Nice.
Mario song like the back of my hand nowadays. Like I just
Did
it's
y'all like
so
actually play
ingrained in my
like jazz
mind.
music, or were y'all just hanging out, like sticking
Oh
around?
no, like it was an actual it was an actual class for jazz. So like it was five jazz guitarists, um, bassist, keyboardist, and drummer.
Oh,
And yeah, so it was jazz ensemble is what it was. Like guitar jazz ensemble
okay,
basically, or
okay. So we're getting
guitar
like
jazz
serious then.
combo. Yeah, so it was on the more serious side, and I could like I started learning how to actually read music, and did a we had an extracurricular thing that we would do called term isn't proper anymore, but the gypsy jazz is what it's called. So like Django Reinhardt, which is a French guitarist from the 1930s and 40s, who burnt off like he was in a fire, burnt off two of his fingers, and learned how to play
Jesus,
chords and shit with two fingers and his thumbs. Like he'd wrap it around and
what the
like
fuck?
play all kinds of
That's
yeah. But
wild.
yeah, so I was like really invested in it, but did that, and then high school ended, and I was like, I forgot how to read music, and then I just continued to try and do bands and stuff and write my own music, and I didn't get really serious about like actually recording myself and doing my own stuff until 2015.
Hmm.
I think is when I started like learning how to record, mix, and stuff like that. And I am still not great at it. It's still always a learning process.
Oh, it seems like you're
I learn
getting better
something
and
new every
better at
time.
it. Honestly.
I'm trying my best. I mean, you go back and you listen to page one or the songs that are off page one, Chemistry 211 compared to, Flippin' Meat to Mob Deep. It's like
No, yeah,
night and
it's night
day,
and day, 100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
But there's
So
also, yeah.
you started with page one, like you were saying, 2017. Is that when you
hmm
would say it started, or were you working on stuff before that?
That's when it started, honestly. I had no idea what I was doing. I know that at the time I was just like, man, like listening to a lot of Sawtooth Grin and the early Daughters material. I was like, I want to do that. I was like, I want to see if I can do that. And so it was just like, let's put some drums in a 7/8 time signature or something like that, and then just play something and see if it sounds okay. And then that's pretty much how page one was like started, and I was like, I want to do like the old, you know, Preschool Tea Party Massacre, like just throw in random samples that have nothing to do with the song title or what's going on in the song.
Is that the
But
one with the sample of like two kids praying or something? Was it on that one?
the
I
second
was
grade,
gonna
are you
ask where it
talking
was
about it?
from. Yeah, for the second grade knife fight. You had one sample was two kids praying about God killing like the
Yeah, yeah.
homosexuals
So
or something. What the heck? I was gonna ask where
no,
that's from.
no, 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 no. I mean, so that's a sample from God, what is it? I think it's from Mean Girls, is
Okay,
what it's from.
really? Okay.
It's God created the Remington bolt action rifle to fight the dinosaurs and the homosexuals. Amen.
It's fucking
And I mean,
crazy.
like, it's super tongue in cheek. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I myself, I'm gay. Like, I'm not like,
Oh yeah, I didn't think you were
I'm
like that at all. I
pansexual.
knew it was like a thing
Yeah,
that it was just like a joke or
exactly,
whatever. I
exactly.
gotcha. I
Like,
gotcha.
I'm pansexual myself, so like, it's just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Showing how like crazy people
taking
are.
exactly, but taking like the early like mid 2000s comedy and just kind of throwing into modern day and just being like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's like what can you get away with? You know what I mean? And that was one of those things where I was like, I want to see if I can do that, and
And you
it
did it.
worked.
We're here. Yeah, you did it.
There you go. Yeah.
But you were really busy in 2017. You did two EPs, Page One and Two, two singles. Think Again, Tommy. I Stole Your Mom's Dildo. In parentheses, Live, Laugh, Love, and It Isn't a Phase, Mom. Barney lives vicariously through me now. Parentheses, Purple Suit of God. You also did a split, the Cheeseburger Picnic, which is Maya
Yes.
Chun of Youth Novel, among a bunch of other projects. How'd you hook up
hmm
with Maya?
Um. So me and Maya started talking about doing a split, literally just very randomly. Uh, she had posted the Cheeseburger Picnic, the first EP that was Cheeseburger Picnic, and I was like, "Hey, you want to do a split?" And then it was literally just like, "Yeah." And so we put together a couple of songs, and then I did some art that was just off the wall,
Oh, that's you.
wild.
Okay, I was wondering who did that.
Yeah, yeah, just some kid. It's like a little girl like with her face getting blown back by air. It's like from a
Right.
Hot Wheels ad that I just took and just fucked it up and did all kinds of crazy shit.
It's
Um,
the fuck, what's that band called? The one with the album covers like that, and it's like the Russian thing. It's called to that one, right? Called to that album, right? I forget what it is
Pretty
now.
much.
You know what I'm talking about, though.
I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about. I
yeah,
can't think of it off the top of my head.
yeah.
Yeah.
So why name your EP's page numbers?
Um, honestly, I think it's very much just I didn't want to write like album titles because I felt like that was kind of like pigeonhole. It was kind of like putting it into a pigeonhole where it's like this is the theme. You know what I mean? As for like, I mean,
I
I
mean, all
can't
your
really
song
explain it.
titles are so weird, right? Like they don't fit a
Exactly,
theme, though,
exactly.
right? So like, why not just make your album title something weird?
See, there's that side of it, but I think for me, it's kind of like when I first started it, I was just like, I had no idea what to name it. And I was like, you know what? I think it'd be cool if I just did, like page one and page two, page three, and it's just like, almost like a book of poetry with no lyrics. You know what I
Okay,
mean? Just
okay.
like a book of poetry, and it's like this poem's called Chemistry 211, and then this one's called Butterfly Death Squad. You know what I mean? Just like no sort of sequence. There's no rhyme or reason or order. It's just a collection of just the insane things that come to my mind that manifest into what it is now.
Okay. Why does every
Mhm.
song have two titles? It's got like a regular title and then a title in parentheses.
So, uh, at first, I didn't really have a reason for it, but when I started doing it, I was like, I really want like the song titles to just make no sense whatsoever. Like, just be as batshit crazy as possible. Like, think of like the most wild things that I can come up with in my head and put them together. And I mean, you can kind of see the trajectory of how crazy they got, and then how they kind of came back down a little bit, and then they got crazier again. But like it started pretty mild, with the names, but it's kind of like a refrain where it's like, blah 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 blah, and then like an annotation of it, annotation of the actual song title. Does that make sense?
Not really. Not really.
I understand. I get you. It's just it's really just a way to just sneak in extra jokes.
Okay.
Just to sneak in like a little more. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Well, so you name your album or EP the page title, but your songs they each have like two titles to them. It seems like you could. I don't know.
It's like I said, there's no rhyme or reason.
Okay.
It's just I started it that way, and I was like, I'm gonna stick to
Just
it.
trying to be
And
as like weird as possible or whatever, right?
exactly. Yeah.
Okay. In 2018, you did a split with See You Space Cowboy, which is a big release. Like that must have been insane at the
Yeah.
time.
So funny enough is Sea Space Cowboy back in 2017. Members have come and gone over time, but one of the founding members, Jesse, reached out to me out of nowhere after hearing, I think it was page one, and was like, "Yo, this is insane," and I was just like, "Thanks, I do all this myself. Like that's nice, thank you." And they were like, "Oh, we're gonna, Sea Space Cowboy." They had just put out their first 7 inch, and Jesse was like, "We should do a split. Like
That's
everybody in my
crazy.
in my band loves you. Like love Second Grade Knife Fight. That would be awesome." And I was like, "All right, like yeah, sure, why not?" And at the time, the second grade knife fight was, I mean, still to this day is kind of like a really niche. Just it's it's not for everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Sea Space Cowboy was kind of at that same level at the time. And then from that split, I finished all my songs, fairly quickly because I mean, I do them all myself. I mix and master all myself. And, um, I was like, cool. And there's like 10 labels involved in putting it out on
Right? Like
on
goddamn.
7 inch, and like we had tapes, and I was just like, all right. I mean, I'm making these ridiculous songs on my computer with these crazy names, like Tanya Harding Shuffle. Like, if you want to put that out, that's fine with me. Like, I'm happy to oblige. But I remember when I sent I think two of the songs to Space Cowboy for them to hear, and they were like, "These are so heavy. We need to go heavier." And so
Well, like they
when
need to go
I
heavier, or like they need to make
yes,
heavier songs. Okay. Okay.
yes. And so, I was like, all right, cool. And I was like, it's cool with me. Like, let's do it. And I got the songs. When I heard the songs for the first time, I was like,
That one
this
that
isn't
was like
fair.
some of their heavier shit. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, this isn't fair. Like, these songs are so good. And I was like, I had no idea what to expect from it, but put it out, and their side was very obviously, based on where they're at now, very, very well received, which I am super, super happy for them, and couldn't be more stoked for them. And I remember my side, like any review I saw, it was like "See Space Cowboy delivers," and it's like "Second Grade Knife Fight. What's going on?" And like, a part of me with all of the reviews where it was like negative in a sense, I wanted to be like, oh man, that sucks. But like the whole point of the project for me is just an outlet for just the most insane things that I can think of, and just be as weird as I am, you
Hmm.
know, and channel that into something, and
So a negative
kind
review
of
is almost like a win in your book.
Exactly. So like, like having someone say like, "Oh, the song titles are weird," or like, "This is unlistenable." It's like,
Did somebody
thank
say
you.
that?
Yeah, I've had. I mean,
Sucks.
I've even had friends say that where it's they're like it's unlistenable, and I'm like, perfect. Like that is the point. Like it's supposed to be like a just pure like
Insanity.
insanity, like an assault on the ears. Like if you can listen to it and you enjoy it, that's awesome, and I love that. And if you hate it and it makes you feel panicky,
And
that's
that's
the point.
awesome. Yeah.
That's awesome. And I mean, like, it's just either way. Like, I could put something out tomorrow, and if nobody listened to it, I'd still be fine with that because it's still just me putting something out there that is authentically, me and the brand that is Second Grade Knife Fight. And not that there really is a brand because it's kind of all over the place, but it's still authentic to what I want to do. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay, I gotcha.
Hmm.
But yeah, you must have gotten like a shit ton of fans for doing that.
Apparently so enough. I mean, I didn't have any social media at the time, up until the split came out, and
You
we
didn't
put
even
the
have a
split
Facebook
came.
at that point?
Nope.
How the heck did you
I
get your other
had.
EPs out?
I just put them out. And then
Like where?
people were on Bandcamp.
Oh,
I
okay.
was
And then
just
just people randomly find it?
Yeah, I was just posting the songs to Bandcamp, and then I would share it to like different groups and be like, "Hey, wrote some songs, like check them out."
Okay.
And then, kind of word of mouth, which I think is really really fun and really cool. It's kind of it's a really organic organic growth to the project, And then I finally made the Facebook, and I think I have like 1,500 people that like the page, which is mind blowing to me that many people took time out of their day to like the page,
Oh yeah, man.
because it's just one of those things where it's like I still, I do it entirely just for the passion, and if you like it and you hitch along the way, then you're cool in my book.
Nice, nice. I like that. In 2019, did another EP, Page 3, and I love
Hmm.
the samples on that one because they're all about cats for some weird reason. Like the first
Yes.
one, she's saying, "I think it's just crazy that I can't hug every cat." So like, why all the
I
samples
just
about cats?
really love cats. Um, I'm a cat person.
Okay.
I love cats, and I was like, hey, maybe I'll switch it up. I'll throw a theme into this one. Like all the samples are cat related. You know,
Okay.
and yeah, it was just like a spur of the moment thing where I was just like, all right, cats, and found some crazy samples and was like, all right, let's do it.
You did another single. Now I'm not a violent person, but I would kill someone in front of their grandma for a 10 speed. In parentheses, the rebirth of Uncle Fuck. Uh, what the
Yeah.
hell is this, man?
So, uh, Uncle Fuck. I'll start with that. So if you go through all of the songs that I've put out, like all the releases, it's just yeah. I just randomly one of the songs I said, Uncle Fuck, and I was like, huh, that's funny. And then I was like, wait, Uncle Fuck, that's gonna be a recurring theme. Like I'm gonna keep doing that. And so Uncle Fuck, I don't know who he
Okay.
is. I don't know who they are, but yeah. And I mean, like the single. I mean, I wish I had deeper meanings for a lot of it, but it's just entirely for fun. Like
Alrighty.
I do it entirely for fun, and I mean, like I take it seriously. Like I definitely take it seriously, but it's entirely just for just the joy of creating,
Right.
and just seeing what I can come up with. I
Getting
mean, like this,
the
yeah,
what do you call it? Endorphins out of just like getting your shit out there.
exactly, yeah,
The dopamine hit or whatever.
pretty much.
In 2020, you did one single, "Fuck the Police Forever." Even vegans want to see the pigs burn. And on your or on your Facebook page, there's a post that says, "Donate and sign after you download. Full discography is also set to free download for the same reason." Were you trying to get people to donate to the Louisville Community Bail Fund? I didn't. The link doesn't work anymore, obviously. So
Yeah. So
didn't
at
know
the
what's happening.
time, yeah, at the time, I lived in Louisville for almost 2 years and grew very fond of the city and the people there. And I consider that like a second home. Like no matter where I end up, Louisville will always be a second home for me. And I ended up, when quarantine started, I ended up leaving Kentucky just based on circumstance and came back to Virginia. And then, Breonna Taylor was killed. And it was absolutely heartbreaking. And I mean, still to this day, it's heartbreaking. That shouldn't happen to anybody.
Right.
It should happen to nobody. And, um, when that happened, I do second grade knife fight. I do, my main band, Wrist Meat Razor. And, I have like Glass Killing Floor is another band. It's a Louisville, like vegan, metalcore band. And, you know, I was here in Virginia, and because of quarantine, my sister was pregnant at the time. And so I wasn't able to go out. I wasn't able to do the things that I wanted to try and support and be active. And so, I took whatever opportunity I could with any of my outlets that I have for myself and, my bandmates and, our friends, and tried to do something good and try to contribute in any way we could. And so, the second grade knife fight obviously is, more of a, I don't want to say it's a joke, but it's obviously more on the silly side of things. But when it came down to it, I was like, there's enough people that, support second grade knife fight and like the music. And, I was like, oh, I'll put out a song, and obviously like the song title and like the sample in it, like it's a little silly, sure. But at the base of it, I wanted to make it so, hey, here's a new song, but pay attention to this. Like
Mm.
this is made because of this, and everything else I have, you can download all of it for free, but donate, you know, because it just, I just wanted to be able to do anything I could. And so, like Glass Killing Floor, we put out an EP in 2018, and I remixed, remastered it, and we re-released it and put that up for, I think it was like $5, and all the money went to the Louisville Bail Fund.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah, and then Wrist Meat Razor, we auctioned off a test press for Misery Never Forgets, and then also Grant from Bitter Melody auctioned off a test press of our 7-inch, the Take Your Shot Funboy 7-inch. And so we were able to raise some money there as well. But, and, honestly, like, I don't know if, any money was donated on part of second grade knife fight, uh, because I wasn't taking any of the money, but I was asking people to.
Tell them to go to the link
But
and and donate it.
exactly. But I would like to believe that, people that are into, this kind of music and, know if they know who I am behind this, persona or project, know how I feel about these things and what the right thing to do is, and put something into it, and try to do a little good. So
That's awesome, man. That's cool that you're using a platform like that.
yeah, I mean, I don't want to say it's not much. If there was more that I could do, I would, but I wanted to be able to do anything I could
Mm.
to contribute uh, to help the cause. So
So you've been dropping an EP or split every year up to that point. Why just the single and not like an EP?
Um, so honestly, a big reason why there's a few gaps in between different releases or singles is kind of how I said earlier, where I each thing that I put out is authentically, second grade knife fight. Like it's true to what I want it to be. It's I try not to force anything.
Hmm.
So like if for a few months or even like a year, I think the longest it was a year that I didn't put something out. Um,
You
or
just
around
weren't
there.
feeling it.
Yeah, and it's not because I wasn't passionate about the project, but I was like anything that I could write right now would not be up to par with what I want to put out.
Hmm.
Like I would not be as happy with what I'm putting out during this time than I would if I was in the moment feeling it and like, yes, this is it. So everything that I've put out, I am 110%. I stand behind it and love all of it.
Okay, well, I can really appreciate that, man. Like having a
Thank
fire
you.
for it. You know what I mean? Like you don't
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
do it when you're not feeling anything, because like you said, it's just not going to sound as good. You came back
exactly.
with a vengeance though this year. Two EPs
Hmm.
in 1 month.
Yeah.
Page 4 and page 5, and these we actually got titles for: love songs and sad songs, not just page titles.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
so why did we get actual names this time around? Giving us some
Uh,
themes.
loosely. I'll say loose themes. So it's called love songs and sad songs. It's kind of up for interpretation whether or not you think they're, love songs or if they're sad songs, more or less. There's no like real deep meaning behind it, but I was like, I'll switch it up a little bit, make the people think, you know. But yeah, I mean, you could hear just from page one to page five now, like the style has shifted here and there. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of gone towards a more heavy sort of chaotic rather than just a straight chaotic,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I was actually gonna bring
And
that up. Yeah,
yeah, and I think, and I've thought about it a lot and I was like, is that still, is that right for this? And, I think at the base of it, it's all about just the energy behind it. And like to me, it's the energy behind it. So like if it still has like that real just visceral, just, like you're gonna hate this energy behind it, then that second grade knife fight.
yeah. Okay. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so you have. Oh, well, I'm so sorry. Let me back up a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Why isn't this just one EP? Why is this two? It's only 7 songs altogether.
So, um, kind of like how I said before, where there's like periods of time where it's just not as, yeah, I feel like whatever I put out won't be up to par with what I'm feeling at the time. It's kind of in that same realm. That's why there hasn't been like a full on like LP. I think the closest thing has been page one, and that was the start. That was 7 songs. And I think it totaled out to about like 8 minutes, like 7 or 8 minutes or something like that. So like not much. But it was it's I don't know. I probably should do an LP at this point.
That
I
was
feel like
gonna
I've
be my
done
next
enough.
question. Actually, was about when that was happening. But still, why
Well,
separate these into two EPs? They were dropped like in the same month. So,
so to be honest, I work fast, when it comes to writing songs and having the ability to record everything myself and, just putting it all together, I get excited. I'm like, this is awesome. Like, this needs to be out now. Like, I don't have like it's not like a plan a release or, hey, this is going to drop on this date. It's out now. And
okay.
if you hear it, you hear it. You know what I mean? So like love songs, I finished all those songs and I was like, these are awesome. These are going up now. So like as soon as I was able to put them up, I uploaded them, and then I started working on more songs. And that just gives you an idea of how quickly, like when I'm in the mindset of for Second Grade Knife Fight, it's just churning them out, and every single one to me in my head is just like, this is it. Like, this hits. This is perfect.
Well, so why not just wait though? Like, if you were writing the songs right after you were done with this one, like, you know what I'm saying?
True. So, I think I'm just impatient, and because it's just me, at the helm, and like I have total control of what I'm doing with it. It's just like, I don't have to like be like, should I wait? Like, I could just be like, yes, you know what I mean? Like, I could impulsively just go
Okay,
for
so
it.
I get what you're saying now. So you finished up the first one, Love Songs, right? Love Songs was the first one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you finished up
Mhm.
Love Songs and then posted it immediately, and then you're like, oh shit, I got these other ideas for songs. And you started working on
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so you had like nice art and everything like that. You're just like, yeah, okay, I got you now. That makes a lot more sense.
Exactly. Yeah.
So why don't you want to make full lengths? Just because you don't think you have enough ideas to make one, or?
So I don't think it's for lack of ideas. I mean, I think now I have what?
You have
I think it's
39 songs over 12 releases, 5 of them being just one song.
Exactly. So it's not for a lack of ideas. I think it's just a matter of, I want whatever I do in the spurs of, inspiration to be cohesive. And I think that, so like page one, all of those songs were done, during like the same time. Like, I was in the same mindset, thinking of all the same sort of, influences, and just, I don't know if it makes any sense, but it's kind of just like, I haven't put out an LP because
Your head's not in the right space for long enough for it to happen.
exactly. It kind of comes in, I have ADD. Who doesn't these days? I feel like that's a really
Well,
common
you're also
thing.
in like 3 different bands, so you have like a bunch of different things
Yeah.
you're trying to write.
Yeah, and I mean, I have, I think I did a count, and I listed all of the names of different projects that I've done over the past 2.5 years, and I think there's like 13 on there.
Nice. You ever
Like
seen any
12 or
money from any of
13.
them, or?
I mean, not too much, but I
Yeah.
mean, at the end of the day, like I said with Second Grade Knife Fight, it's all just for the love of music. Like, it's
Exactly.
just for having the creative outlet. But I mean, I've spanned all the way from, I've done like Jimmy Eat World emo stuff to full on death metal to break beats, and like even like hip hop
What was your
beats,
death metal project?
So that's called Womb Cage.
Womb Cage. Okay.
WOMBCAGE. Yeah.
I didn't know you
And
did
I
this.
actually, yeah, but I actually put out a 10-track record uh
Oh.
early last year.
Oh shit! I
And
didn't know about that.
yeah,
Nice.
it's just it's just like with Second Grade Knife Fight. It's like spurs of creativity, or I'll be in the mood for, I'll be listening to something, and I'll be like, I really want to try and do this. Like, I want to try and do this sort of style. And the one consistent one is Second Grade Knife Fight, because there's no rules. Like, there's zero rules. Like, I could probably put out something tomorrow that, had a hip hop track on it, or had like a country song, and people would be like, "Oh, that's Second Grade Knife
Honestly,
Fight."
a hip
Like,
hop
they would get
song
it.
seems like it makes sense. To be honest.
Exactly. Like, that's the thing. That's what's so like awesome about Second Grade Knife Fight, is that it's very, there's no rules. There's zero rules. Like, I can
That's how
do
you do it,
whatever
man.
I want.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
It's the spirit of
Exactly.
music
Yeah.
right there, dude. You're preaching to the choir, man. Like, have you heard my shit? Like,
Oh, trust it.
yeah.
Of course. Of course.
So your styles remain mostly similar across all your releases, as we were talking about, but it has changed a bit. To me, the newer stuff, there's more of like a beat to the songs. Like, there's even somewhat danceable parts, I would say. And
Yes.
you have some keyboards going on now, which I really, really like. I think it was Sad Song. Yeah, Sad Songs is the second one. I want to say it was I don't remember what song it was now, but there's one where it starts out with a sick little keyboard thing. Do you remember what I'm talking about? Maybe it was the sax. I don't know what it
So
was. It sounded like a sax that was
that
really distorted, but I'm not really sure.
so it's really awesome because like I said, there's no rules. So I just took, I had, I use Reaper to record all of my music. Uh, and I had two tracks set up for samples, and I just had like whatever effects I use on that to get the samples to sound the way I wanted them for the track. And that song, I was like, I don't want to use samples on this. I was like, I'm just gonna do something different. So I just plugged in the bass that I use and just didn't follow a metronome. Just plucked a couple chords on one side,
That
and
was the
then the other
bass?
side. Yeah,
Really? Huh. Okay.
yeah.
It sounded like a sax sample or something. Like, huh. Okay.
Exactly. There's just it's fun when you can make it sound like something that it's not.
Right.
Just kind of just being creative and just like messing around with different ideas. And I was just like, oh, I'm gonna pluck this a few times, and then I'm gonna do some chromatic scale, 'cause I don't know anything, kind of doodling on the high strings of a bass, and it just ended up sounding like horns on like a old Casio or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
But now so like we were saying, your sounds changed a little bit. What are your influences, and how has that changed throughout the years?
Um, so influences immediately started with Sawtooth Grin. That was the number one influence for it, and then you take Canada songs
Hell yeah,
and
man.
even like Great Redneck Hope or Cloacal Kiss. I mean, like everybody that's into this kind of style of music is familiar with most of those bands, but like those are just like really just the ones that did it where I was just like, that's it, like especially Sawtooth Grin. But it started with Sawtooth Grin, and I feel like I've tried to keep that same energy, but as I've gone from release to release, it slowly shifted more towards like ion dissonance kind of still mixed with that weirdo side of Sawtooth,
Hmm.
where it's like it's like really technical. So like I'll have like a song that's in like 16/7 or something that just makes no sense, and it'll still kind of have a beat, and you're just like trying to figure out where you like.
Where you headbang without snapping your
Yeah,
neck? Yeah,
yeah, exactly. But and then like the newest stuff is absolutely just still building off of the idea of being crazy, but having it be a little bit more focused, I guess.
no, yeah,
Because a
hundred
lot of the
percent,
early,
100%.
yeah,
That's exactly what I was
yeah,
getting. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
just a little more focused. So there's like, nothing really repeats. You know, I can tell you right now, a lot of the stuff that I've written, I don't know how I played it, and I think that's what's again like just it's so authentic. Like I just love how authentic the project is, which is why I keep coming back to it and I keep doing things with it, and I think that's why people like it too, because it's like, what the what the fuck is going on, you know?
That's actually a really good segue into our next part. What's your writing process like?
Whew. So, um,
Do you have like for me, whenever I come up with a riff, I do a little voice memo on my phone. Do you have like
okay.
a file on your phone of just voice memos of you doing like guitar sounds with your mouth?
So I actually don't use voice memos,
Okay.
which is surprising because I feel like a lot of people that I know, when it comes to writing music, if they have ideas, they're just out somewhere. They're like, "Oh, I have this riff," and they're
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I
You
mean?
go up to the corner, and it's like, "Ba-da-da-da-da-da." Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But honestly, it's kind of just like I'll just be in a mindset, at any given time. It could happen anytime. Like with love songs and sad songs, I was like, I sat down and I pulled up a project file and I was like, plugged in my guitar and I just tuned it weird, and I was like kind of noodling, and I was like, okay, and then kind of just record some riffs and figure out a tempo to start with, and then add drums and kind of build it as it goes. So it's kind of a start with guitar, just kind of play whatever comes to mind that I think is going to sound good, and I'll remember it in the moment. So just
Yeah.
a disclaimer, I'll remember it in the moment so that I can double track it if I want to have two of the same thing, and then just build on it like that. And then as far as like samples and stuff like that, normally I might even start with the sample first. It really just depends on how the process is going in that moment. Like I don't really have like a set process, honestly. It always starts with guitar, and then I'll throw in a little bit of drums, and then I may have a whole song done, and then I'll be like, but wait, I could put that here, or I can do this here, and then I'll go back and I'll like chop it up and add like a sample here or there. Like uh, in one of the earlier songs, I have a Goonie sample where it says, we're in some deep shit now, Francis, and he just goes, oh shit. Like that was an afterthought. I didn't think of having a sample in that little break, but I added it after because I was like, why not? Like it's sick. So that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Alrighty. Has the process evolved any over the years, or is it the same as it's ever been?
Um, like like I said with the songwriting, or like the actual songs, like it's a little more focused.
Mm.
So I'll go into it with the general like skeleton of an idea in my head of where I want the song to start and end. But the journey in between, couldn't tell you. It
Okay.
just kind of go with it in the moment, and if it's like, this is cool, or this is not cool, and just go from there.
I actually really identify with the way you do it. I do it basically the same way. We're on the same
I
page
mean,
there.
that's how you get it. That's how you get it so weird.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, 100%. Uh, let's see here. So you're recording it all yourself. You said you use
hmm
Reaper. And so in the beginning of your career, kind of seems like your production was just unintentionally bad. And then it seemed like it was getting clear on like the Sea Space Cowboy
hmm
splits and stuff. Like you were doing better with it. And now it seems like you're intentionally making it sound like super distorted and kind of leaning into the noisiness or
Yes.
whatever. So
Yes.
this is a truth then. Like you actually just kind of fucked up in the beginning, and now you're just like, hey, this is exactly what I want.
So in the beginning, it was it was without distortion and having everything sound bad. It just didn't sound like what I wanted it to. Does that make sense? Like the vision that I had in mind for the songs just wasn't there without just like that extra layer of just like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So like the full disclaimer, I literally I think it was until the Space Cowboy split, or maybe even a little bit after, I didn't have like a drum VST or anything.
How are
And
you making the
so
drums?
what I would do is I had a demo version of Guitar Pro 6.
Okay.
And with Guitar Pro 6, the demo version, you can export WAV files of the real sound engine drums that you can program. You can't save anything, mind you, so you can't save these files,
You just have to leave
but
them
you can
open on your computer until you're done with them. Okay.
pretty much. So it was and like nothing is stemmed out, so there wasn't like a kick channel or like a snare channel. So it was all just like one audio file of drums, and it was just
Couldn't
like,
you just like bounce like a couple of samples, a couple kick samples, etc. for the whole thing, and then just cut it up in Reaper?
see, I could, but I didn't know how. That's
Okay.
that's the
Okay.
beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. Is like I've grown so much as a I guess a novice engineer, that I know how to do these little things now. But from where I started with the project, it's you see the growth in every aspect.
Hmm.
And when I started, it was just like, I don't know. Like, I know how to put the tempos, I know how to record, I know how to line things up. I can kind of EQ, and so that's how it started. But as it went on, I was like, I tried to keep that like real, just nasty, like almost inaudible sound to it.
Hmm.
Where it was like, I guess it was kind of a mistake in the beginning in the sense that I had no idea what I was doing as far as mixing. Like, I was trying my best to make it sound as good as I could possibly make it without having somebody else do it.
Right.
And then, it ended up sounding like that.
Yeah, yeah. And now it's like
Yeah,
your identity. The
pretty
second grade
much.
knife fight's
Yeah,
identity, yeah.
exactly. It kind of just turned into something where it's like, all right, it just needs to sound fucked up. And I mean, like nowadays, like, love songs and sad songs, like there's a little bit more warmth and roundness to the songs, but it's still like just audibly almost unlistenable, which is what I want,
I think that they sound way better than your other stuff. Like you're
Oh,
right.
oh
It
no,
sounds it
absolutely.
sounds like, I guess, more full. Like I don't know. I
Yes,
don't know how to explain it. Maybe more bassy compared to like your old stuff, but yeah,
it is absolutely.
it sounds so much better than what you were doing in the beginning.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
What's your favorite plugin? The thing
My
that's
favorite
super
plugin?
important. The thing that's super important for your sound.
Mm. So, I have this. I forgot who makes it, but there's this plugin called the Lawnmower,
Of
and
course there is.
it's
Okay.
it's basically just a distortion, more or less. But it's like a clip. It's like a clip limiter distortion, and it has two separate like drive channels that are active at the same time.
So you
And
turn both those
that
babies up, and you're like, all right, here we go.
depending on what it's on. But I'll use that, and then I also use I think it's Neuron 3 Elements is the plugin. It's like a EQ processor,
Hmm.
and they have a bunch of different presets and things like that. But it's also just a lot easier to use because you can solo out different bands. So you can solo out the mids, the highs, the mid highs, low bass, things like that. And you can kind of hear where you're going with everything. So that's something I've been using more recently that's drastically improved quality of everything I've done, but especially second grade knife fight. And
Nice.
then I think for the early stuff, um, I love Pod Farm. Pod Farm 2.5, line 6. Yeah,
That's where
I
I started
still
too. Was Pod Farm, yeah.
see, and like I've started, over the years I've straight out, and I use different things now for whatever I'm using, but for some reason the cabs, like the V30 4x12 cab that they have in Pod Farm just sounds so good to
You
me.
do not
I
still
don't know
use
what it
Pod
is.
Farm, do you? Oh
I
my
do. I
god.
do. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, for the final products, it's not that is like the smallest part of the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like the guitar tones are like a bunch of different plugins from different different software
Right. And as
companies.
you go through the process, it'll completely change the guitar
Pretty
sound.
much, yeah, yeah. So it'll start at the base with like
Pod Farm.
uh Pod Farm. Yeah,
That's hilarious.
it's just
Alrighty.
ease of access.
Well, I mean, there's free guitar plugins and stuff, Samp Sims and things like that. But hey,
Oh, I mean,
you do you,
I
man.
have I have pretty much all of them, and I use a lot of them still. Uh, but at the base when I start, just to get the ideas down, I'll just throw in Pod Farm as the bass plugin and just get rid of that afterwards, and then have a whole actual guitar tone. So it
Okay.
actually sounds
Okay, I thought
something
that you were
like.
using Pod Farm like in your like all the way to the end.
Oh, no, no, no! I
Okay.
just use it to like start everything,
Gotcha.
and
Okay.
then I get to the end, and I'm like, Okay, like, all right, let's make this a
Enough of
little,
that. Okay.
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
You don't have any lyrics on the internet, so what's up? What are your lyrics about?
So,
Do you just make
like,
noises? Is that what we're doing?
yeah,
Okay, I was wondering. I was wondering if that
it's
was it.
it's it's literally so funny story. Only a select few people know this, but the only songs that have lyrics are "It's Not a Phase Mom" and the Split songs with "See You Space Cowboy."
Hmm.
And "It's Not a Phase Mom," I was like, I haven't written lyrics for anything. Maybe I should like write lyrics, and I did it, and I was like, all right, that was cool. I'm not doing that again. But then for the Split, I didn't have lyrics to start. And then when I submitted the songs for the labels to put out, and we were doing the layout, or Connie was doing the layout for the Split, she was like, "Okay, do you have lyrics?" And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Yeah, like I need lyrics." And I was like, So what I ended up doing, and
Was just
this is
writing
this
words that sound like what you said. What's
so
up?
but the best part about it is that you go and you read the lyrics, and it seems so on brand, like it seems so perfect for just the sound and the idea of second grade knife fight, like just complete nonsense.
I didn't even see the
Like,
lyrics. Like, do you actually talk about specific topics in them, or?
so some of it you can almost say is poetic. I
Mm,
guess
beautiful.
that's the least I would say. Give me 1 second. I'll grab a. I think I have a copy of the 7 inch over here. Yeah, here we go. Last remaining copy that I have in my possession. So on the inside, come to my songs. So we have. Let's see. So for my heart is broken, but I gotta get my Jetta fixed ASAP. No time for tomfoolery. The lyrics are bleeding my heart on my name, gone are broken memories, I know, hurt. So like it seems cohesive.
Yeah, it
It's like,
works.
oh man, it's like, man, that's deep. I didn't know what the fuck I was saying when I recorded it. But then you could get even, man. Let's see. So for who, what, when, where, why, uh, how, why, enemy does it hurt you? I don't know why I like breaking all these things, but why am I wrong? I the bastard, why did I? Why did I? Why did I? Why did I? When did I? When did I die? In my head, I am dead. Where are you? Where are you? What are you? God, trust me.
Okay, okay. Now there's bands that like I'll be reading the lyrics along to their material, and like half of their lyrics aren't even being like sung. So why didn't you just do that to
Yes.
fill in like the little spaces and stuff instead of like what we just heard? Because it seems like you could have made that sound a little fuller. You know what I mean?
See, but just like just like with the first and only shirt I've done for second grade knife fight, where I wrote "I'm too drunk to eat this chicken" on the front, and I misspelled two, where it said just T-O, not T-O-O. And I was consulted about this by the printer and was like, "You want to fix this first?" And I was like, "Absolutely not. Like, I want it just like that." And I think the reason why I did it exactly like that, where it's just super disjointed and just seems super just broken, is
It
second
does
grade
kind of
knife
fit.
fight.
Yeah.
It fits like my idea and my vision of just how batshit insane it is. Like, I mean, to somebody completely normal, they're probably just like, "What? Like,
Like, did he have a
what is
stroke?
any of
What the
this?"
heck?
Exactly. But it's like it's entirely, half of it is almost entirely by, you know, the the expression is, I think, like the seat of my pants, or whatever
Yeah,
the
yeah.
expression is. Like, it's kind
Flying
of
by the
just
seat
like
of your
on the,
pants, yeah.
exactly, and it's like, that's perfect. And that's what's so beautiful about it, is that it's just so unpredictable. Like, even I don't know what's going to happen when I'm doing it, and that's what I love about it so much.
So, do you have plans to bring this to the stage?
So, thought about it plenty of times. Uh, I think the most fleshed out idea I had was, before it was, you know, kind of common knowledge that I was the one that did second grade knife fight, was that I would play a live show under a pseudonym, so just under a different name, and wear like a morph suit or wear something like a mask, and then just set up like a little like a kid's desk, with the seat with the desk attached to it,
Yeah.
and just sit at the desk, have all instrumentals playing over a PA, and me just sitting there with the mic just like taped around my face, like just like
Jesus
almost like
Christ,
a,
okay.
exactly, like not even like a true, like, this is a live performance, almost like an art piece, I guess, just
Okay.
like, just super, just super weird. That's the whole point for all of it, is just, I just want to be weird.
So, Cricket Slams in chat asked the question I was actually going to get into. Any Spotify plans? He said he will gladly go to Bandcamp to jam, though, just mainly use Spotify.
So, um if you like my Facebook page and you follow the Facebook page, you may have seen that I said songs were going to be on Spotify and streaming services. They told me no, because my songs were too short. So I'm currently working on getting that fixed so that everything will be up on there, but that should be on all streaming services, all major streaming services, within a week or two.
And why did they say no?
Because Apple Music and Spotify couldn't monetize my songs, because they were all, the average time was 56 seconds, and they need to be at least a minute long
That
to
is so
monetize
wild.
them.
We were talking about this before we came on. I still can't believe that. That is just so weird. Like, it's just
It's
arbitrary time.
I literally got an email and it said, we cannot sell your songs because they are too short, and I was like, all right, I didn't think that was gonna happen, but okay. Yeah.
Not because of the samples or whatever, it's because of the actual time. Like, that's so weird. I would
Of
have
all
thought the
things, I
samples would have
mean,
gotten you. Like, for real, I would have totally thought that was it.
I have, that was my biggest fear when I was going to upload everything the first time around, was like, man, these are, every single song is going to get flagged for these samples. I mean, like, I have like Will Ferrell samples in there. I have, none of it's cleared. Like, I don't get permission for any of it. I just do
Right.
it. And then, I'm watching it upload, and it's like, the song is cleared, and I'm like, oh my God, I did it. Like, oh
Like, you
my
just
God, it
got away
worked.
with something. You're like, oh my god, yeah.
Like, it's crazy. But yeah, so everything will be on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, hopefully within the next week or two.
Why do you just have a Facebook and not like an Instagram or obviously Twitter? Who gives a shit? But a lot of bands on
Mhm.
Instagram. Why aren't you doing that?
Um,
Or just more
well, just
engaged in
like,
like social media in general. Like, we don't really hear a lot from you. If you go to Facebook, you just scroll down a couple
yeah,
posts and you're back to 2019 posts.
yeah. So it's very much, like I said, is it's entirely just expression. It's just me expressing, myself in the moment with different things. Like, if I'm feeling extra crazy someday, I'll go on there and I'll be like, type something about Eminem playing a part in the Hip Hop Witch, like, just some oddball stuff. And I think, in the past year and a half, it's mainly just been because I've been busy. with other things, and so time's kind of escaped me in the sense where I can't be as active, on social media with Second Grade Knife Fight. But I also kind of like that. I think it's kind of a,
You're a
like I
man of
said
mystery.
before. Exactly. I mean, like, I'm not really that mysterious. I'm pretty straightforward. My name's Jonah. I'm 25 years old. I live in Virginia. Like, there's not that much mystery, but I still think it's really, there's something fun about, like when I was growing up and you get like a CD, like I said with the Red Chord CD that I got, the first CD I ever got with my own money, was going through the lyric book and, like, oh, this guy is in this band. I'm like, oh, they think this band? Let me go check out this band.
Yeah, dude,
And it's kind of,
dude, definitely, 100%. That's
yeah,
exactly what we did.
but it's kind of like, oh,
Oh,
my bad. Oh, my phone fell. I am sorry about that.
you're good.
Anyways, it's a little bit different, but I like to take that same sentiment and apply it to Second Grade Knife Fight in the sense where it's like, if you really want to know, you'll seek it out. You know what I mean? And that's another reason why there's only a Facebook page. I only have the Facebook page because I put out the split with C Space Cowboy, who has social media and, you got to promote and things like that. But, at the end of the day, it's entirely just for fun, and I just want to put out stuff that I like to hear and that I think will, piss somebody off, inspire somebody, make somebody laugh, make somebody cry. I mean, I don't want to make people cry, but if that happens, that's cool. Um,
Tears
but
of
it's
joy,
it's
just tears of
just
joy, not anything
exactly,
like that. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
But like, I like the idea of it being an organic project, like something that's not forced. Does that make sense?
Well, I wouldn't call just promoting it forcing it.
Oh
Just being
no,
like,
no.
hey, this
It's like,
exists, putting this shit out instead of just being like,
yeah,
oh, I'm
yeah.
done. Here you go, and not
No, I mean,
saying
like,
anything.
it's I'll still post about it and I'll talk about it to people if I'm on tour or if I'm doing, this or that. Like if somebody's like, hey, like, are you in any bands? I'm like, I do this, but obviously this is so weird. Like Second Grade Knife Fight's just so strange that in a normal conversation with somebody who's just like, like, oh, you like music? Oh, I love Metallica. Do you play in any bands? And you're just like,
Like, yeah, it sounds like
I
Metallica. Go check it out. Yeah.
exactly
I
like,
would, dude. I would totally trap them in that. Yeah, just be like, yeah, dude. You like
yeah.
Metallica? You'll love Second Grade Knife Fight. Go check that out.
No, I've done it. I've done it before. I've done it
And
before,
then you never hear from that
but
person again.
pretty much, and I'd consider that a win. But yeah, I mean, it's entirely, like when I put something out, I'll post about it, but I also like it to be a kind of, see what happens sort of thing. Like if nobody talks about it, then it's like, okay, I'm gonna do a little bit, But like when I put out love songs and sad songs, I was like, I want to see what will happen because I haven't put anything out for a while. Let's see what happens. I'll just put out some songs, and I put out love songs, and then immediately I get, like, you got tagged in Mathcore Index, made a post, and I'm like, okay, okay, like this is sick. Like, people actually pay attention. Like it's not like a, I want to see if people are paying attention sort of thing, but it's like I want to see if it can kind of just naturally take its course and
Mm.
see where it ends up. You know what I mean? Without being too like hands on or thinking too much into it. Does that make sense?
I guess. I guess like I don't know. You just don't want to put too much effort into it. That,
I mean, for lack of a better term, I guess.
hmm.
I guess that's what you could say because when it comes down to it, I mean, obviously I take it serious and definitely serious enough that I'm talking about it on your podcast.
Yeah.
But it's entirely just I don't know. I don't have a rhyme or reason for pretty much anything I do with it, which is why it's so awesome.
Okay. Okay. So is this the reason why you haven't been on like a label outside of that split? Like it seems like when you do your compilation thing, someone would have definitely pressed that. I would have imagined. I was surprised it wasn't on like
So,
Zegama Beach or something.
so it's not for lack of trying. I have tried before, and even when I did the split with Sea Space Cowboy, a lot of the labels involved. I mean, I don't know exactly who or you know, but they didn't want to put out my
Your part.
music alone. They didn't want to put out my music alone. They were like, I was pretty
Oh,
much
got
put
you.
out
Okay.
based entirely off of Space Cowboy's side, which I'm totally fine with. If anything, I mean, like when Space Cowboy started getting bigger and, they got like an article in Revolver or something like that, they got mentioned in Revolver magazine, and Second Grade Knife Fight got mentioned on Revolver, and I was like,
Jesus. Yes.
that's a win. I I do this crazy weird project and ended up in a magazine
That's
based
fucking sick.
on just something out of my control, and I think that's awesome. But yeah, no, I just think that I don't think Second Grade Knife Fight is a label project. I mean, like it'd be cool. Like I'd love to be able to give people physical copies of the music that I put out, but I'm pretty sure it's probably gonna have to be something I do entirely myself, which is fine. I have no problem doing that, but yeah, no interest from any labels.
Okay. I said, I'm kind of surprised nobody put out the compilation on something like pressed it or something like that. I feel like he
I mean,
could have sold a decent amount.
I think so. Maybe someday. Maybe soon. When things get on Spotify and somebody's like, oh, people listen to this. You know what I mean? Like,
No, it's true. Yeah, you don't have like a track record. When I was looking, every time I interview somebody, I go to look at like their Spotify like plays and stuff because the spikes you can tell when something big happened to them on social media or something like that. You
yes,
can go look at their posts and stuff. And yeah, you weren't on there, so like that's probably actually a very good reason why you haven't been picked up is because nobody can actually see
exactly.
that there's like a track record with
Yeah,
you. That makes sense.
and I
Um,
mean, part of me is totally okay with that. But
you also in Wrist Meat Razor. You guys have a new
Mhm.
album coming out on Prosthetic. Um, what? What's been people's reaction to the new single you guys dropped?
Nothing short of amazing. Honestly, the entire new record was a labor of love. Working with Isaac from Knocked Loose was fucking awesome. He's a great friend, great person, super easy to work with, and you know, I didn't know what to expect. Like, I know that this record is probably the most important thing that I've ever been a part of, and something that I feel is absolutely like amazing. Like, I think it's amazing, and to see people react the way they have so far has been really, really awesome. And it's nice to see that people are, adapting to the slight sound change. I know that we started more as when I started it started as a more screamo kind of project, more
I
on
was
like the
gonna
Neil
say
Perry side.
it's a lot of people
Yeah,
have been comparing it to Atreyu now, and you guys were more like emo violence
yeah,
back in the day.
yeah. And I mean, like, I'm fine with that. I personally, Atreyu was never a band that I like listened to religiously when I was younger,
Hey, Atreyu
but
rocks, man. I'm not saying that they're
they
bad or
do.
whatever, but
No,
it's just a
absolutely, they do
big
rock.
style change.
Yeah, yeah. And I still think that, that's one song off of the whole new record. So I don't want people to think that, you know, based on that one single, that's what the whole record's going to sound like. Because there's a lot of stuff on that record, and I think everybody will be pleasantly happy.
Oh, nice. Okay. I was
Hmm.
kind of wondering if that was like the sound through the whole thing as well. So now I that rest my fears. So yeah,
There you
I'm
go.
really
I'm
looking
glad I
forward
could do
to it,
that.
honestly.
Thank you. I
Um,
appreciate it.
and I also want to have you guys on at some point to talk in more detail about it. Maybe we can get that set up, huh? But
Yeah, hopefully.
I got a question that I ask everybody here: how do you eat your hot dog, or how do you dress your hot dogs?
Uh, well, me as a vegan,
Oh, that's right. I
I
shouldn't have asked you this. You
I
even told me
still
this. Ah!
uh I still so I'll still have uh like life hot dogs like the veggie dogs or even like Field Harvest has like their own like hot dogs. Honestly, I really like relish. I'm a big relish fan. If it's spicy, even better. I'll do some spicy relish. I'll do some kraut and maybe a little bit of mustard. Maybe a little bit of mustard. But that's it.
Okay, I like it. It's
Mhm.
somewhat adventurous, but also like kind of plain. I dig it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Staying safe, but not boring. I like it. Uh,
Yeah.
so you don't have any merch available now, right? No CDs, shirts, nothing like that.
Not at the moment, but I would like to think that probably soon I will be doing some physical releases. I'm going to try and get together some, do some DIY sort of stuff and just follow my Facebook page, Second Grade Knife Fight, and I will keep people posted when things go on Spotify, when I release new music, and when there will be physical releases, which is something that I am pushing for more recently, actually. So
You should drop a shirt with the Love Songs album cover on it. I think it'd be really dope.
I think that would be sick. That's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah, that'd be really sick.
Well,
And you could do like pre-orders for
yeah.
like 2 weeks or something, and then just close it off, so you aren't even like left with like a shit ton left over.
This is true. I did that with the first shirt I did, where the print was supposed to be this big, and then it ended up that big, and I had a couple people that ordered like 2 or 3 XLs, and they were not very pleased. And if you're hearing this or watching this live, I'm sorry in advance if you hear it. Um, but yeah, I've done it like that before, and it went really well. And then I tried to do hoodies, didn't really go very well. But the people that got them, I'm glad they got them. So we'll see what happens. I might do another shirt. That's definitely in the pipeline. Maybe some CDs, and hopefully, if somebody wants to, put it out, maybe some vinyl.
Yeah, just dropping that fish hook in there, see if anybody gets on it.
Yeah, we'll see.
What was the last album you listened to?
Uh, the last album I listened to was the new Tiger's Jaw record,
Hmm.
which is a real oddball one.
I've
'Cause,
never heard of them.
oh, amazing record. Honestly, I can't even remember the name of the record right now. But like Title Fight and stuff like that.
I
You
don't
ever
know
heard of
that
Title
one.
Fight? So it's kind of like
Sounds like
how do
a
I explain
hardcore
it?
band. Title Fight.
It's so kind of like a alternative, almost emo like,
Oh, okay, I can see
but
that
like
too.
but
Okay, with that
but
name.
in the hardcore
The
vein. So like
post-hardcore.
they're like more or less, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And then Tiger's Jaws pretty much take like like I don't know, like, God, I don't want to compare them wrong and get crucified for it. But like like take like Sunny Day Real Estate, where it's like they're that kind of emo sound,
Okay.
and Tiger's Jaws kind of like that, but it's just really good. Like it's just really really well written music.
Hmm.
Really catchy choruses, and I mean it's all I've been listening to since it came out, and yeah.
What about your album of the year for either last year or this year up to this?
Oh, that's tough. See, it's funny because I feel like it's most people wouldn't expect it if they don't know me. But last year I really, really loved the new Charlie XCX record that she put out during quarantine, and it's just really good. It's like just really good pop, you know?
Okay, I don't really pay much attention to pop and stuff, so I have
See,
no idea who you're
exactly,
talking about.
exactly.
So.
exactly. I have such an eclectic taste when it comes to music. So like, I can write second grade knife fight and do crazy shit, but then I'll go and listen to Britney
Oh
Spears.
hey,
You know
I
what I
like
mean?
some old school pop too, man. I work out to a playlist of old MTV music videos, so
Oh, there you go. There you
2000s
go.
era, All American
Oh, it's
Rejects,
the
that kind of
best.
thing, my man.
Oh, the first All American Rejects record is one of my all time favorites, actually.
Dude, nice. There you go, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's about all I had to talk about. Unless you had anything else you wanted to bring up.
Um, I think that's about all I got. Second grade knife fight is a labor of love, and if you listen to it, I love you. And if you don't listen to it,
Then you hate him.
I still probably love you.
Just
I'm not
slightly less, slightly less.
slightly less. I hope that you'll love me back eventually. You will find out. But yeah,
So if you're looking for a suicidal spiral into utter madness, you should check out Second Grade Night Fight's new EPs that came out last month. Sad songs and love songs. You're on Facebook and Bandcamp, and that's it, right?
that's it. And if you get anything off of Bandcamp, I'm probably going to adjust some prices to name your price, aka free, for anybody watching or listening, so that you can go ahead and download everything that I have available, and be on the mailing list for when I release new music, and you'll get emailed for that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Facebook and Bandcamp until further notice.
Alrighty. As for me, drop my channel a follow so you always know when I go live. You can also sub to get access to the interviews before they hit YouTube and streaming services, as well as exclusive emotes. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. YouTube folks, if you like the video, please drop a like, tickle the notification bell, and don't forget to subscribe. It's a great way to support me for free. Check out my music, The Sound That Ends Creation, at thesoundthatenscreation.bandcamp.com. My next guest is oh crap, I didn't write it down on here. Oh, it's Knife the Glitter, actually. MySpace Legends,
Hey,
Knife the Glitter. Join us this, today's Sunday. Dude, I'm all messed up. I did not write this down in my notes. Join us this Wednesday, what is it? 31st? Is that right? Yeah, Wednesday the 31st,
sounds all
7
right.
p.m. Central, for the live cast at twitch.tv/thecastthedenskcreation. Thanks for being here, Jonah. Hope you had a good time.
Thanks for having me, Chris. It's been a pleasure, and I love that I've been able to talk about my crazy project that I've done for what is it, almost 4 years now.
Oh, Jesus, yeah, man. Dude, we're getting old, man. 4 years, that's crazy.
It's a long time.
Man, but yeah, thanks for being here, and thank you guys for watching and listening.